Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi initially wanted to name his twins, Jimmy and Jey Uso, after two wrestling legends. The current World Heavyweight Champion disclosed that his mother refused. Stephanie McMahon interviewed the Bloodline on a recent episode of Stephanie McMahon's show, Stephanie's Places. They discussed their upbringing and family ties. One of the stories the Usos brought up was when their father, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, wanted to name them Alpha and Sika after the legendary Samoan tag team. The Wild Samoans held the WWE World Tag Team title on 3 occasions and entered the Hall of Fame in 2007. Sika is also Roman Reigns' father. Despite their legendary status in the wrestling business, Jimmy revealed that his mother refused his father's idea to name him and his twin after the Wild Samoans. "True story, my dad was about to name us Alpha and Sika," Jey said. "My mom said, 'You will not name my twins Alpha and Sika,'" Jimmy added. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi wants Jacob Fatu to challenge Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title. After having significant success as a tag team wrestler, Jey Uso has become one of the most popular singles competitors in WWE today. Earlier this month, the 39-year-old captured the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career by defeating Gunther at WrestleMania 41. Speaking on Rikishi Fatu off the top, Jey's father disclosed that he is proud of his son's accomplishment. Meanwhile, he suggested that he defend the championship against his cousin, Jacob Fatu. "A real exciting match I feel would be Jacob Fatu. And Jacob already has a victory on him. See, that already sparks interest to fans, right? It's not just 'cause they're family, but, behind the scenes, we know they can dance and have a hell of a match, right? Which the world will be able to have access to see it and, become reality, right?" Rikishi said. "It would be interesting to see what the future holds for Jey and Jimmy Uso in their singles runs." In the world of professional wrestling, few families carry as much legacy as the Anoa'i dynasty. With names like The Rock, Roman Reigns, Yokozuna, and Rikishi paving the way, it's no surprise that the next generation, most notably Jey and Jimmy Uso, have become household names in WWE. But what many fans don't know is that the twins' identities in the ring almost took a very different direction, and it started before they were even born. In a recent interview, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi revealed a little-known but hilarious, and telling, story from his early days as a father. As a proud member of the Samoan wrestling lineage, Rikishi, born Solofa Fatu Jr., had grand ideas for his twin sons. So grand, in fact, that he nearly named them after two of the biggest legends in wrestling history. "I'll never forget it," Rikishi said, grinning. "When my wife Talishua was pregnant with the twins, I was convinced we needed to give them names that meant something in the business. I wanted them to carry wrestling with them from day one. So, I told her, seriously, dead serious, I wanted to name them Hogan and Savage. Yes. Hogan and Savage. As in Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage." Rikishi chuckled as he recalled the stunned silence that followed his bold announcement. "I thought it was perfect," he said. "Hogan Fatu and Savage Fatu. You can't tell me that doesn't sound like tag team gold." But not everyone shared his enthusiasm. Talishua, Rikishi's wife and the matriarch of the Fatu household, had her own vision, and it didn't involve naming her children after two bleached blonde, larger-than-life icons from the 1980s. "She looked at me like I had lost my mind," Rikishi laughed. She said, "Solofa, I love you, but I am not raising little Hulkamaniacs." The disagreement wasn't just playful banter. Rikishi admitted he made several pitches to try and convince her. "I even tried compromising. I said maybe we could do Randy and Terry, their real names. Or just initials, HS Fatu. Still wrestling, but a little sneakier," Rikishi said. "But my wife? She wasn't having it. She said, 'These boys are gonna find their own path. They don't need to be named after anybody to be great.'" Looking back, Rikishi admits she was right. When you see what Jey and Jimmy have accomplished, how they carved their own legacy as the Usos, as the best tag team in WWE history, yeah, I'm glad she stopped me, he said. They're not just part of the legacy. They are the legacy now. Still, fans can't help but wonder, what if she had said yes? The idea of Hogan and Savage Fatu entering the WWE in the mid-2000s is something straight out of an alternate wrestling universe. Imagine Michael Cole announcing, "Here comes Hogan and Savage Fatu, the high-flying twins from the Isle of Samoa." It would have made headlines instantly, either for being an homage or an audacious step into controversial waters, depending on your perspective. The naming could have even sparked real-life tension backstage. At the time, Hulk Hogan's relationship with WWE was rocky, and Randy Savage's last years with the company were complicated. Would Vince McMahon have allowed it? Would Hogan have tried to sue? Would Savage have seen it as a compliment or a mockery? I don't know what Vince would have said, Rikishi added with a wink. He probably would have laughed, and then slapped a copyright notice on their diapers. Eventually, the twins were named Joshua and Jonathan, better known now as Jey and Jimmy. They debuted on WWE television in 2010 and have since become one of the most decorated tag teams in the company's history. With multiple tag team title reigns and involvement in one of the hottest factions of the last decade, the Bloodline, the brothers have made history on their own terms. In fact, Jey Uso has even gone on to main event WrestleMania, a feat that few wrestlers, regardless of their names, ever achieve. It's a testament to their talent, charisma, and drive, qualities Rikishi says they inherited not from any wrestling legend, but from their own upbringing. They saw me working hard, traveling, giving my life to this business, Rikishi said. But they also saw their mother keeping the family together, giving them structure, love, discipline. That's where their strength really comes from. As for any regrets? Rikishi smiles and shakes his head. Man, I still joke with them about it, he said. Sometimes I'll text them out of nowhere and just say, "What you gonna do, brother?" Or hit them with an "oh yeah." And they roll their eyes. But deep down, I think they love it. In a world where wrestling is full of over-the-top personas, dramatic storylines, and unexpected twists, it's often the stories behind the scenes that stick with us the most. Rikishi's almost legendary name choices for his sons may have been stopped by a mother's wisdom, but the tale offers a charming look into how even the most iconic careers can start with a simple family disagreement. So the next time you watch the Usos tear it up in the ring or deliver a super kick with pinpoint accuracy, just remember, they could have been doing it under the names Hogan and Savage Fatu. And somewhere, Rikishi is still dreaming about what could have been, while Talishua just shakes her head and smiles, knowing she made the right call. Would you like a humorous alternate universe version where they do grow up as Hogan and Savage Fatu?